shocked to find out just now, Gigi, that this is the first time we're seeing an all-female lineup at a hip-hop concert. I mean, we're way past the time that this should have actually happened.
I totally agree. I mean, Luth was saying that it's 2018, and yeah, we're still going through those struggles, but thanks to, Castle Lite, finally we have, an all-female hip-hop concert, and some of us local female rappers have never been on the stage, being invited to one show, so this is a first for us as well. And we're super, super excited, and of course, Luth's going to be emceeing. It's all the, big names in hip-hop doing things who happen to be female.
And what's really so great about it is that I've been to a couple of concerts, and the female MCs are always the, and I hate to use the word, the sidekicks. The sideshow that come on for a little feature during a track, or you're like the warm-up to the warm-up act, isn't it? What kind of impact do you think this is going to have on women in hip-hop in South Africa?
We're hoping that the narrative changes, that we now become just rappers who happen to be female. I mean, there's no doubt that there are struggles in such a male-dominated industry, but I think this will be one of the things to solidify our space within the greater hip-hop world. But hopefully, people will begin to take us seriously, and it's nice to see us headlining, because it's not very often. Like, I swear to you, usually when you look at the posters, we're like in the second or third row if we're lucky. So yeah, it's great.
Luthando, this is a big step in the right direction, isn't it?
In a very, very big direction. I think it's about time that the spotlight was on women. Women have been doing this for a very long time and have never really been given a chance, obviously because it's such a male-dominated space. But it's time for us to actually just push the testosterone aside and show them how it's really, really done. I mean, it's also just quite sad that we still have to emphasize female MC versus just, she's an MC. She's a rapper, that's who she is, she's on stage.
She can rhyme, she can spit.
Do you know what I mean? Just probably better than your favorite male rapper, but it's never really been a competition of trying to figure out which gender is better, but it's just we're all in this space, we're all contributing, and we're finally in a place where it's more than just one woman who gets the chance. There's a plethora of women, both the women on the lineup and a whole lot of other women who are still on their way up, who've been doing things for a very long time. So I think it's just one of those, it's about time, and shout out to Castle Lite for finally doing it, but we've been doing it. We've been in this space, we've been making noise, we've been making the boys look good.
Now, when I was growing up, obviously internationally, it was people like, it's Missy Elliott, it's Queen Latifah. I think I've just given my age away, UNITY, It really is an indictment that in 2018, that we've actually moved really slowly. If you think about when those names were big names in hip-hop. It's just not happening fast enough.
The thing is, they don't want to give you the chance. The men don't want to step aside. They just kind of want you for a feature on a remix, and then they move aside. They just want you to twerk. They just want you to look sexy on stage. They don't really want to hear from you. But, with women like Nicki Minaj, who have she's been one of the boys until she finally got to a place where it was like, yo, guys, I'm actually the baddest.
You can come feature on my track.
And it's also unfortunate that it took her being really dope on a verse for everybody to actually listen and be like, oh, wow, that's Nicki, that's really, really dope. But even with women like Cardi B, it doesn't matter what kind of rapper you are. Just the fact that you're on stage, you're holding your own, you're doing it the right way, whatever your way is all that we need, really.
Gigi, let's talk about some of the criticism that comes towards hip-hop in how women are portrayed. People immediately, who maybe aren't really into hip-hop, immediately point to videos that they say objectify women and the way they dress and that kind of thing. I made a point of looking up some of your videos, and I was very happy to see a big difference in the different kinds of videos that you do. And for me, that said that as women, we're not just one thing. So if you have a video like the one. One bar, is that how you say it? You're walking through the streets of Soweto, you're scantily clad, you're doing your thing, but it's a girl gang that's walking down the streets and doing their thing, and then you compare it to, do you pronounce it Ipupu?
Yes.
Right? Really artistic, beautifully made, and a completely different, you're in Victorian dresses and all of that. Do you think you're at a stage as an artist where you feel confident to be able to portray all of those roles?
Definitely. I think it's a duality, and it just depends on how you want to, perceive it. There is the argument that, girls need to be fully clothed and, I feel not at the, at the use of men. But then there's also another part of that where you are proud enough to be a woman, and you're not trying to be objectified, but you're certainly not going to, you know, feel like you need to clothe up because you're afraid of being harmed, ridiculed, mocked, judged, and so on and so forth. So I think, unfortunately, I'm more towards the latter, where I don't mind a naked protest. I don't mind, you know, these different ways of you know, protesting against the patriarchy. I think it just depends on where you're comfortable in terms of that conversation.
Luthando, do you think women in hip-hop are owning their spaces better in terms of how they're portrayed?
100%. It's really less about what people think it should be, but everybody's, you know, created their own lane, you know. You've got your Gigi, who will run laps around your favorite rapper, you know, bar to bar. You know, she's the kind of rapper that battle raps and freestyles, which is what you want.
That's
you know?
the skill.
And that's the skill. I mean, that's the kind of old school skill. It's not such a big thing these days, but I mean, everybody, these days you even get ghostwriters, you know what I mean, which is perfectly fine. I mean, it is what it is. But you've got ladies like Nadia Nakai who are much sexier on stage.
She's got a different style.
Exactly, and there's so much to play with, and women just don't care about what you feel. They just come, they give it to you the way that it is, and it's either you take it or you don't. And you don't have to take it. You really don't. But it's not about what you think. It's about who they want to be, proudly so at that, and without fear. We finally got into a place where we're not scared to be anything and everything that you actually can be. Because we really aren't worried about the men. It's like the last thing in our mind.
We have to wrap it up. Gigi, people wanting to find out more, what can they expect from the Herstory Castle Lite Hip Hop concert?
Guys, it's a whole production. You know, your MCs, producers, hip hop artists, graffiti, the works. We're putting together a whole production, a whole showcasing. Obviously, it's hosted by LootLove, Lee Kasumba. I know Young M.A. is coming down. Angela Yee's coming down from the Breakfast Club. It's going to be amazing.
Something they've never seen before.
That's fantastic.